Hey, hi. Thank you for coming by my station, Tory Magoo 44 on YouTube. I appreciate it. I love having you guys come by and I love your comments. Thank you for giving me comments and questions too. Recently, probably many of you saw the Scientology Network, which is their new TV station that Scientology has 24/7. They are playing it. And it was interesting to watch. I have just a few things to say because it's going to go on and on and on. I'm sure there's more things that are going to come up. But in the beginning, for me, I watched it and I thought, okay, this is because you have to realize years ago, Hubbard created Scientology, and it was in a triangle, and at the bottom were missions. They were like in someone's home. They started out with, come on over, have some coffee, let's talk about Dianetics, which L. Ron Hubbard had written in 1950. It's a true story. People would come over, talk about it, try it, that kind of thing. Okay, then it evolved and it evolved. But as it evolved, what happened is the people in the missions would go out and get new people to come to the missions. And the missions were sort of like homes. They were kind of cozy and nice and friendly. And they weren't orgs. They weren't churches. They weren't, like a real commitment kind of thing. It was just like, come on over. We're going to, show you a little bit about we're going to talk about what Scientology is, what it's about, how it can help you in your life, that kind of thing. So they were the real beginning people that helped get people into Scientology. And once they thought that they were ready, they would bring them over to the church and get them onto the bridge to total freedom, which is the big moneymaker thing. Okay, so then a few years ago, Miscavige just wiped out all the missions. It was quite a few years ago, but that was it. They were done. I think there may be one or two, but they're kind of nominal. They used to be everywhere. They were all over the place, and there were people that were what they called Div 6, Division 6. They were people to go out and get new people in. That was their job. That was their hat. They had staff and they had Scio. The Scio are the guys in the uniforms that are 24/7. The staff were either all day, or nights and weekends, one or the other, right? So they had their own life separate from their Scientology staff. But years ago, they canceled that and said, Scio staff is done with, now we just have Scio and public. So there's the public, you have to look at the Scio 24/7, and the public are people that are either, they have two sides to it. One is training, one is auditing. So you're either paying to get up the bridge to total freedom, or you're learning how to audit another person. What I did for the lower part of the bridge is I co-audited. Like you would audit me, I would audit you. And it's a great way to save money because it's an expensive bridge. It's very expensive. So what does this have to do with the Scientology network? Basically, because they got rid of the missions, they don't have any new people coming in. It just doesn't work. They're out there at the testing center. It just doesn't work. You've seen our videos. People just walk on by. It's not going to happen. So this is their attempt at Div 6, at getting new people in. They're going to show how fantastic it is, how great Scientology is, and how it can help your community, right? And then from that, they will get the people with money and get them into Scientology. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. The only people that are going to get in Scientology, really to get in Scientology and stay in Scientology, are people with money and who are smart and who have a business of some form, that, where a form to make money. And those people are on the internet. Most people are on the internet. And once they're on the internet, we are all now into doing our own research, right? Don't you look at both sides when you hear something? Do you hear this? You go over and look at that side, read what that has to say. Maybe a lot of people only read their side, what they're doing. But when it comes to chipping in a lot of money, people look at the other side. Because it's like, in the old days, it was like, this is going to happen to you, Tory. This is what you need. And you'd be like, well, okay, here. That kind of thing. But now, if I had the internet, I would definitely, before I gave them any money, I'd be poking around going, well, let me just check at the other side. What do these other people have to say about it? And most of the people on the internet are us, who were in it for years and years and years. I was in it 30 years, right? True believer, totally in it 100%. And then I woke up in 2000 and I thought, okay, I'll just leave. Wrong. You can't just leave Scientology. And that is what this video is about tonight. Okay, they have the Scientology network, and what was the number one thing that they were really emphasizing when they started? Human rights. Okay, let's get something straight here. Human rights, first of all, Scientologists don't think of people as humans. Humans to them are what they call wogs. They look, oh, he's just a wog. They are thetans. They're spiritual beings. That's who they are. And all the rest of us humans are just wogs. That's how they think of you. That's how they talk about you. I can put a link in it, what Scientologists really say to each other. And it really is what they say to each other. So it's not good. Okay, let's roll down from that. They break up families. Human rights. What kind of rights? I talk to children and parents every day who cannot either talk to their kids or the kids can't talk to the parents. Why? Because they're in the Church of Scientology. And Scientology does what they call, if you disagree with them at all, they declare you suppressive. This is an SP declare. They actually put your name on it. They write down what your crimes are. And like for mine, they're just completely false. They're utterly untrue. But when you're in, that's why I call it the Scientology Truman Show, because you cannot see the walls, right? So right now they're just working on their front, what we call front groups, which are their things that are going to help the community, make people think better of Scientology. That's what they have to do, because people right now, frankly, don't think so great about Scientology. So they're trying to bring out, well, wait a minute, we can teach the kids how to study better in school. Well, that's good. We can teach them the way to happiness. Those are just basic, simple truths that you can find in the Bible or anywhere else where they're just common sense, good things that people should, don't lie, tell the truth, treat your parents well, that kind of thing. Just simple, basic truths. They have Narcanon, Criminon, Way to Happiness, Applied Scholastics, and W.I.S.E. W.I.S.E. is the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises and is a gigantic scam. So if you're a doctor, dentist, chiropractor, anyone professionally, be very careful about W.I.S.E. Look on the internet and learn both sides. Same for Narcanon. Narcanon does not work, and you cannot get your money back from Scientology. So human rights, okay, they break up families. They also stop free speech. I've made a lot of videos on my channel about them stopping free speech because I was part of it. They roped me into doing this stuff to handle the evil people on the internet. And they do stop free speech covertly on the internet and overtly by declaring someone suppressive. No one in the Church of Scientology is allowed to talk to me. No one, not anyone. I lost all my friends overnight and my husband of 27 years. Now, L. Ron Hubbard originally said you're supposed to go to ethics, have a committee of evidence, a fitness board, all these different things, and then if it won't work out, the person is declared suppressive. Not anymore. David Miscavige, boom, you say something he doesn't like, declared suppressive. That's it. So they definitely stop free speech. That is a human right, okay? And these are also civil rights violations that they do. They use disconnection to break up families and to stop free speech. Okay, they also keep people in line that way. You have to agree with what they're saying or, you're out. And they have a thing called the doubt formula. And it's like you're either in or you're out, just like Tom Cruise said. In Scientology, you're either in or you're out. That's true. That is very true. Now, kind of might sound okay because they're pitching the good side of things. The lower part of the bridge has some basic tools that are good, and you can use them. That doesn't mean everything in Scientology is bad because I'm against these, but I am absolutely against these abuses. I am against them breaking up families. I am against them declaring people suppressive. I am against them stopping free speech. L. Ron Hubbard had a thing called fair game, where he said you can lie, cheat, steal, destroy someone utterly. Destroy someone utterly. And they have done that to the mayor of Clearwater. They destroyed him utterly. Richard Tenney, who was the city commissioner, who was trying to